One of the world's oldest and most mysterious cities comes to life at IMAX. The Face, we're talking about Jerusalem.
Yes, and this film is the most beautiful film I've seen at the IMAX yet, so it's pretty exciting, and I think you guys should check it out. What is the new film at the IMAX?
So we're opening a new 2D experience called Jerusalem here at the IMAX, and it opens on September 19th.
You mentioned that this is a 2D experience, which may be different from what people are used to or expect at the IMAX, but I just previewed this film, and this is definitely one that I think it has to be better in 2D. I mean, you don't really need the 3D to really experience Jerusalem in this film.
Yeah, the vistas that they capture in this movie are absolutely stunning. So to show it in 2D versus 3D, although, you know, it does give it a little bit of depth, it was really just rich in color and environment and light that it just made sense to show it in 2D.
And you mentioned the IMAX experience. It's totally different than going to a movie theater, from the size of the screen to the sound. How big is the screen in there?
So the screen's 6 stories tall by 84 feet wide. It's the biggest screen in the state of Indiana. Sound system's 12,000 watts. There's 66 different speakers in the IMAX theater. And the geometry, the way the theater's designed, it's meant to make you part of the movie while you watch it.
One of the things that I thought was really, really neat was the use of the technology to kind of rebuild different ruins and temples to restore them to what they would have looked like.
Yeah, definitely the CGI in this movie is great. You get a lot of these kind of, you start with a ruin and then they kind of build it up to what it would have looked like in those days. And it's fascinating to see some of this architecture. It's actually absolutely amazing that they could build these structures, you know, without modern day tools. So to see some of these temples that were there were absolutely stunning.
So after viewing the film, I feel like I experienced a Travel Channel documentary times 1,000, and I've added Jerusalem to my travel bucket list. This experience is great for people who may not be able to get to Jerusalem at any point in their life.
Yeah, a lot of these IMAX films that are more travel logs, so like Discovery Channel or whatever style filmmaking, it gives people the opportunity to get about as close as you're going to get without actually leaving your hometown. They make for really great kind of stair-step experiences if you don't have the means to travel. This is a really unique and powerful way to see these different locales and locations.
Those images are so vibrant and beautiful, and I really do. I would love to go to Jerusalem someday. I don't know if it'll happen, but I think that was a pretty good preview for me.
You know what's interesting, though? I mean, you do make a good point. I think it's on a lot of people's bucket list to travel to Jerusalem with all the history.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that's a very expensive trip. But maybe even if you are planning a trip, who knows? You could probably get some good ideas of some things to see and do.
I think so. In the film, we follow 3 different ladies of different faiths: Christian,
Okay.
Jewish, and Muslim. And it's really neat to see how they view their city differently, but they all have a similar love for Jerusalem, and it was just really neat the way they put it all together. So I highly recommend it.
Good. All right,
Yes.
I'll put that on my list. Doesn't have to be my bucket list, because that I can go do this weekend, and I probably will.
Oh, I'm sorry. It opens 19th. I should mention.
Oh, it opens the 19th.
So you do have a little bit of time. That was just a tease.
Okay.
And now I will keep reminding you through social media.
Okay, do that. Yes. 'Cause
Yes.
You're good at that sort of thing.
Oh, thank you.
You know, that's right. You got a busy weekend coming up. It really starts Friday night.
Friday night, another zone game. I will be at Hamilton Southeastern, and they are playing against Fishers.
Okay.
Which is where I was last weekend. So
Making the
see all
rounds,
those
aren't you?
Fishers team players again. And then on Saturday, another Indy 11 match, 7:30 on MyINDY-TV. But I will be in the fun zone early, and they are playing Edmonton.
Ooh,
So-
yes. Okay, that should be a good one.
See what happens.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Face.
Thank you.
All right, Tracy.